A garbage man gets caught on camera during his usual shift. What you see him doing with a neighborhood dog will shock you. Twice a week, like clockwork, the garbage man would come to Joshua Burns' house. Joshua had recently adopted Shelby, a golden retriever from a shelter. Shelby was a timid dog, haunted by her past, which made her particularly wary of strangers. Whenever the garbage man arrived, Shelby would bark ferociously at him, her trust issues apparent from her days in the shelter. The garbage man, too, had his fears. He was terrified of dogs and made sure to keep a safe distance while swiftly emptying the Burns bins. Despite Shelby's barking, she would never approach him. Every time he arrived at the Burns house, she was outside, her barks echoing through the neighborhood. The garbage man always did his job diligently, but worked quickly, not wishing to interact with Shelby. One day, as the garbage man was hurriedly emptying the Burns bins, he felt something brush against his legs. He froze, fearing that the dog had finally approached him. He turned around to find Shelby sitting in front of him, her eyes curious and cautious. Startled by the unexpected encounter, he jumped back into his garbage truck. In his job, the garbage man often saw, or at least heard, many dogs, but he had always managed to stay out of their way. He had never encountered another neighborhood dog that displayed such disdain towards him and then came and sat next to him. Later that week, when the garbage man returned, Shelby was already waiting near the curb. This time she didn't bark. It was as if she had sensed his fear and decided to give him a chance. After all, she too was afraid. Tentatively, the garbage man patted her head before retreating back to his truck. He hadn't touched a dog in many years, after being bitten by one as a child. The fear of being hurt by a dog had stuck with the garbage man into adulthood. Despite patting Shelby, he had no desire to start making friends with the golden retriever, but he was very curious about the sudden change in behavior. And if he were honest with himself, he felt a little special because of it. Weeks passed in this manner. Shelby never attempted to touch the garbage man, but she allowed him to pat her head gently. She seemed to understand his fear and respected his boundaries. The garbage man, in turn, began to appreciate Shelby's quiet strength and patience. He knew that Shelby could sense his reluctance and his fear. He marveled at how she allowed him to do things at his own pace, never pushing him to do anything beyond a swift pat. One day, when the garbage man pulled up to the Burns house, something was different. Shelby was sitting there waiting as always, but this time the garbage man got out of the truck with both fists clenched. Sensing his unease, Shelby started to back away. She was used to the wariness the garbage man displayed around her, but he had never expressed any hate or violence toward her. Based on her own sad experiences, she knew what closed fists could mean, and she was wary. The garbage man approached Shelby, still with both fists tightly closed. What he did next was shocking. Sensing that Shelby was scared, the garbage man knelt down on the ground. Uncurling his fists, he placed his hands on the ground in front of him so Shelby could see. In one hand, he held a dog treat, and in the other, a new ball for Shelby to play with. Shelby hesitated for a moment before dashing back over to accept the treat and the ball, her tail wagging with delight. The garbage man chuckled, his fear melting away, and he gave Shelby a big scratch behind the ears. From that day on, each time the garbage man visited the Burns house, he took a few minutes out of his busy day to kneel on the floor with Shelby, scratching her ears and tickling her belly. It became the highlight of his week, and Shelby adored her new friend. The pair had overcome their mistrust of each other to form a very special bond. The garbage man would often bring Shelby little treats too, which delighted the happy dog. It made the garbage man smile, when Shelby would eagerly accept a treat and trot around the yard with it in her mouth. Unbeknownst to the garbage man, Joshua Burns had captured these heartwarming moments on his CCTV camera. Joshua had grown curious about why Shelby had stopped barking at the garbage man, and knowing that Shelby could be a little cautious around people, he wanted to see what was happening between his dog and the garbage man. Upon watching the footage, he was deeply moved by what he saw. He was struck by the unnoticed kindness that people like the garbage man often displayed in a world where everyone seemed to be in a rush. The garbage man took the time to connect with Shelby, proving that simple acts of kindness could bridge even the widest gaps. Touched by the beautiful friendship between Shelby and the garbage man, Joshua decided to share the footage on YouTube. The video went viral, capturing the hearts of viewers worldwide. They marveled at Shelby's gentle nature and the garbage man's genuine kindness. The next time the garbage man arrived at the Burns house, he was greeted not only by Shelby, but also by Joshua. With a warm smile on his face, Joshua extended his hand towards the garbage man, expressing his gratitude for the bond he had formed with Shelby. He shared with the garbage man the heartbreaking tale of Shelby's past, how she had come from a shelter, scarred by traumatic experiences that had made her wary of people. As Joshua spoke, the garbage man listened attentively. He realized the depth of Shelby's struggles and the immense courage it took for her to trust again. It was at that moment that the garbage man fully comprehended the impact of his actions. He had not just befriended a dog, he had given Shelby a chance to heal, to feel loved, and to trust once more. Touched by Joshua's heartfelt words, the garbage man shared his own story and the deep-seated fear that had haunted him since childhood. He confided in Joshua about the traumatic incident where he had been bitten by a dog, an experience that had left him terrified of canines ever since. The mere sight of a dog would send shivers down his spine, triggering anxiety and panic attacks. Joshua listened empathetically, realizing the courage it took for the garbage man to confront his fear daily, especially in a profession where encounters with dogs were inevitable. He was impressed by the garbage man's determination to fulfill his duties despite his phobia. No one had ever imagined that a golden retriever with a bad start in life would help a garbage man overcome a huge fear. Equally, no one had imagined that the garbage man's simple acts of kindness could mean so much to Shelby and her new owner. From that day forward, a genuine friendship blossomed between the garbage man, Joshua, and Shelby. They became a testament to the power of compassion and the transformative effect it could have on both humans and animals alike. The garbage man had always taken great pleasure in his job. For him, there was a unique satisfaction in the routine, in the familiar sound of the garbage truck's engine, and in the tangible impact he made on the neighborhood. He enjoyed the physicality of the work, the way it kept him active and outdoors each day. As he emptied the bins and maintained the cleanliness of the area, he felt a deep sense of accomplishment. Moreover, he appreciated the brief but friendly interactions with the people on his route, the smiles and greetings that made his job feel like more than just work. And now that Shelby the golden retriever had entered his life, his job became even more rewarding, as the moments he spent with her added an extra layer of joy to his already fulfilling occupation. From that moment on, the garbage man and Joshua would always spend a few minutes chatting whenever they saw each other. Shelby remained the center of attention, though, and never missed out on a scratch or a treat from the garbage man. Joshua's video of Shelby and the garbage man got almost 5 million views. The video served as a reminder that compassion and understanding could transform even the most unlikely relationships. And thanks to Shelby and the garbage man, The world learned that sometimes the most touching stories were found in the most unexpected places. Now it's over to you. What are your thoughts on the relationship that formed between Shelby and the garbage man? Do you think the world needs more people like the garbage man, and why? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.